Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video about this. This is so fucking important. I was just thinking about this. Okay, let me just tell you. Okay, so I had a situation. First of all, we know, or I'm pretty sure I've touched on the fact that after I got bitten, and I dealt with several aggressive dogs, that it was just the situation of trying to groom them was way too stressful, and it wasn't benefiting anyone. Yeah, like I could throw a muzzle on a dog and manhandle it and shave it down and send it home groomed, but it's dangerous for the dog, it's dangerous for me, it's stressful for both of us, and it's just not worth it. So I really don't do aggressive dogs anymore. I just think if they are to the point that they're reacting like that, they either need to go to like a mobile groomer or a home groomer where they might be more comfortable in that environment, because since I work at a daycare, it's very loud, there's a lot of dogs barking, and there's a lot of dogs around, which can just be stressful enough on its own. So I really have not been taking aggressive dogs. Well, I looked at my book and they had written down nervous dog, daughter might stay, or something like that. Now, since I've been doing this for a while, I know full well nervous dog means this dog's probably aggressive. I'm just saying, like, a lot of times people try to sugarcoat these things. They'll say, oh, they're nervous, and here's the one, okay? They snap, but they don't bite. Okay, that's what I'm gonna name this video. They snap, but they don't bite. Because what that means is if you are not fast enough, that motherfucker is gonna bite the shit out of you. Okay? They snap, but they don't bite. My mom had she summed it up perfectly. They snap until they connect, and then it's a bite. And then you're fucked because you just got fucking bitten. Okay? I'm sorry, like, this stuff gets me really heated. Because people sometimes people will bring in a dog that is aggressive and they try to sugarcoat it, and if you were a new groomer and you didn't know better, they are potentially putting you in danger. And that's exactly what they said when they dropped this dog off. They said she can get snippy about her back end, but she doesn't bite. Well, let me go ahead. I'm going to attach a video right here of her snapping but not biting. Okay, here you go. So as you can see, she was snapping, but I guarantee you, if she got my hand, that would have been a bite. Like, she was trying to connect, she was trying to get me, and it's okay. I understand, it's not personal, I'm not taking it personal, but what my issue is that, you know, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, had this been, like, a brand new groomer or somebody that didn't know better, I know when to test the dogs, okay? So I knew that there was a possibility if I messed around her head that she was going to snap at me. I had a feeling, and you'll get this way, if you're not already, you'll get this way, you get a feeling. I had a feeling when this dog walked through the door, I almost just sent her straight home, but I didn't want to give up that easy. I wanted to let her calm down. I gave her like 30-45 minutes to really calm down. She had stopped whining. She had stopped pacing. She really had calmed down a good bit. Well, we put her in the tub, and she started getting stressed out again when we first got her in there, but we got her to calm down. I did have an assistant. That's another thing. If you have a dog that might be aggressive, please, please, please always get somebody to help you. And if you don't have somebody to help you and you don't feel comfortable, please send that dog home. Just send it home, because it's not worth it. So I had my coworker in there, and she was helping me. She just kind of, like, because she said she could be snippy about the back end, so when I was working on the back end, I asked her to hold her head forward so that she wouldn't turn and snap at me. She did fine all through the bath. I started to feel kind of okay about it, but I noticed her sanitary area had not severe, that's probably not the right word, but a awful lot of matting compared to the rest of her body that was not matted at all. So I was like, okay, she's snippy about her back end. I'm kind of thinking it's her sanitary area that she has an issue with. So I'm sitting there, we start to blow dry her, and, you know, she didn't like it. She was kind of trying to get out of the tub or whatever. And I was like, you know, that's okay, I can work with that. So we just kind of calmed her down. She got comfortable with me blow drying her back end. And then I started to go up towards her head. And I thought to myself, I was like, I'm going to test her, and I'm going to blow dry all around her head to see what she does. Now, if she was just bobbing and weaving and trying to avoid me, that would be a different story. I can work with that. That just means she doesn't really like the noises around her head. That's fine. But she did exactly what I thought she was going to do. And as you've already seen, she tried to bite me. And she probably did it like 5 or 6 times before I started recording. And she was lunging. Like, if I didn't have her restrained in the bathtub, I promise you, this dog would have bit me. But because I have previous knowledge, and because I knew to really be careful and to know, you need to know your limits. You need to know, like, okay, if this dog lunges, I need to make sure I'm back far enough that she can't get me. And I was holding my hand back far enough on the dryer that if she nailed the dryer, she wouldn't get my hand. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's so important, because I just started thinking, and I was like, oh my God, like, what if that had been some new groomer that didn't know? And like I said, she was being so good for the bath, it would have been easy to just drop your guard and think, oh, she's fine. But had I not tested that with my blow dryer, and had I gone and tried to clip around her head, I promise she would have nailed me in my hand. And that is so dangerous. And the icing on the cake is that I called the mom to let her know. I'm like, hey, I told her exactly what I just told you. I was like, I did the whole bath. She was great. Everything was fine. Started blow drying her. She did fine. And then I started blow drying near her head, and she started trying to bite me. And I was like, she was starting to get really stressed, so I decided to call it. Well, guess what? Mom says, oh yeah, no, I forgot she does that. Like, so mom had been to the grooming shop with this dog before at a different shop and had seen that this dog does that. But she tells me, oh, she snaps, but she doesn't bite. Okay, do we see how that's potentially very dangerous? Some dogs, or some groomers take aggressive dogs. Some groomers want aggressive dogs. They like the challenge. They like seeing the dog go from super aggressive to super cooperative. Some people like live for that, and that's great. I would be happy to refer you to those groomers, but I'm not that groomer. I don't want to get bit by your dog. I have a house that I have to pay for. I have bills I have to pay for. I can't afford to be put out of work by your dog that snaps but doesn't bite. Okay? So, if you're a pet parent with an aggressive dog, please just be honest. That's all you have to do. The worst thing that you're going to be told is, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to groom your dog. But that groomer can probably refer you to somebody else, and if they can't refer you, please start calling vets' offices. It's not just about shaving a dog down. That's not our job. Our job is not to fucking throw a muzzle on a dog, tie it down, and shave it. Because I could have done that to that dog. I could have put a muzzle on her when she snapped at me. But why would I do that? You know, she's an older dog. She's already stressed. Do you think throwing a muzzle on her is going to make her feel better? Like, if you were having a panic attack or something and somebody threw a straitjacket on you, would you feel better? No, you wouldn't. You'd be more stressed out, more pissed off, because now you're restrained. So I don't do that shit. Like I said, other groomers do. And if you're a pet parent, just know that you will find somebody to groom your dog. There's somebody out there. There's a perfect fit for you. But don't lie. Don't exaggerate the truth. Don't say, oh, they snap, but they don't bite. If they bite, say they bite. Or say, I think they might bite. Because guess what? My Luna, if she was with the wrong person, she would bite. I know full well she would bite. And if I got a call from the groomer that, hey, Luna's trying to bite, I wouldn't be surprised for a second. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, like, well, I wouldn't, you know, I groom her, obviously, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm just saying, like, I can speak as a dog owner that has an aggressive dog, and Luna would never bite me. But do I think that she would bite somebody else? Absolutely. I absolutely think she would bite somebody else if she was afraid. But at the same time, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing this owner or anything. Like, it was frustrating me because she was like, oh, you know, I forgot. And it seems like, I mean, maybe she really did. I don't know. I'm not going to judge her on it. It's fine, because she was very understanding. She was like, I really hope my dog didn't hurt you, so on and so forth. And, you know, I just told her what I was seeing. I was like, she was really stressed out coming in the door. And, you know, like, I just explained. And she was very understanding. And she was like, okay, we'll be right there to pick her up. You know, it was fine. But my thing, like I said, my thing of coming on here and talking about this is because it was scary to me to think that if somebody didn't know better, that they could have just gotten bit. And this dog, you can tell me all day long this dog snaps but doesn't bite, but I promise you, even if that were the case, let's say that was the case, they really didn't want to bite you, they were just snapping. Well, if they turn real quick and snap, they might accidentally get you still. So that whole snaps but doesn't bite, basically what I'm telling you is if somebody says that, just beware. Be extra cautious. Watch every movement, even if they are seeming like something, like they're going to be okay. Because in the bath, she seemed like she was going to be fine. I was starting to question myself. I was like, because you're over here, I almost sent her home before I even touched her. Because I just had this feeling. And then I do the bath and she's fine. And I was over here like, well, you were about to send her home and look, she's fine. You could have groomed her just fine. And then she tried to bite. So go with your gut. Don't be afraid to send them home. Just be honest. That's the biggest thing. Be honest. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't say like, well, you know, they just got a little upset around their head. No. Just say, I tried to blow dry around the head or whatever you're trying to do, and they turned and they were trying to bite me. And you can say it like that. And I promise you, these people know their dogs are like that. It's not a mystery. You know when your dog is bad. My Luna, I know she's a bitch. I know she's a bitch, okay? That's why I groom her. There's one other person that can groom my Luna. I would take her to the vet and get her sedated before I would take her to a different groomer that didn't know her, because she would bite the shit out of somebody. And that's okay. Like, there's ways around it. That's all. I just wanted to say that. Please, please, please be careful. Watch out for these they snap but don't bite kind of dogs, because I've noticed that means they bite. I'm sorry. I'm just decoding it for you. That means they bite. So, anyway, I'm sorry this ended up like this was kind of a serious video, but I just think that is so important. I was just sitting here on the way home thinking about like, oh my God, had that been a newbie groomer that didn't know, like that could have been career ending if she would have nailed me. Are you kidding? Like, that is so dangerous. And it just bothers me that people will be kind of dishonest or they beat around the bush because I guess they're scared of being turned away. Like, there are groomers that will work with you. You don't have to act like that or be scared of being turned away. It's okay. If they're going to turn you away, then they're not the right fit for you. Like, I'm very proud of my grooming, but I'm not the right fit for that dog. I'm not. That doesn't make me feel satisfied at the end of the day working on a dog like that. And I'm sure that it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make me feel good. I know the dog didn't feel good, and that's not what I'm here for. I want dogs to be happy. I want to be happy doing what I'm doing, and that's what the ultimate goal is for me at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm pulling up in my house. I'm going to edit this and probably upload this first. I do have another video I recorded today, though, a much happier, fun one. It was me working on a senior dog. We even had a little poopsie incident that you guys will see. She couldn't contain herself, but you know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a really good Thursday. I'm sorry that this was kind of like a negative video, but I just felt like this so needed to be said. And if anybody, like, just in case there's somebody out there that has like an aggressive dog on their book or potentially aggressive dog on their book that they're nervous about, just know it's okay to send them home. That is fine. If they're not the fit for you, then they're not the fit for you and they can go somewhere else. We don't need to groom every dog in the world, okay? So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching as always and supporting me. You guys are the best and I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.